Okay. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
I was assigned ready at birth.
Oh, wow, good for you.
Yes, my parents were relieved that I was ready and not
And willing?
regretful when I came out. Um
Well, I don't think they liked when you came out, but that's a whole other story.
anyway, um we don't have any viewers right now, but if anyone is watching this later, oh wait, give me one moment. I'm gonna send this to my Discord server. My Discord server full of Sams who
This is
love
great
me.
audio, dear.
It is great audio. I'm glad you appreciate it. I've worked really hard on this.
Mhm.
I've put so much effort gaming. Oh, no, okay,
So,
perfect. Yes?
is the title "I forced my boyfriend to watch this children's cartoon with me"?
No, the title is actually I forced
I
my
mean, it's tough.
boyfriend to watch a 3D animated show based on my childhood favorite book series, and he surprisingly loved it.
Well, hey, spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry. Wait, we haven't gotten there yet. Okay, as you can tell, it's been a little while since I had Excited Eraser on my channel. A lot has changed. We have gotten married. We do
Has it?
have two kids.
Oh, shut up.
We are filming from different rooms in the same house. No, okay.
Oh,
So,
man, I wish.
all right. So, WondLA, what are we here to talk about today? When I was 12 years old, I discovered a book series at my local library, and I recall passing this book every week for over a year thinking it looks so weird. It's probably some fantasy nonsense about dragons and elves and magic and lore that is so convoluted and characters who keep showing up, you keep forgetting their names. I thought it was going to be like that. At some point, I stopped in front of it and I actually picked it up and I was like, you know what? I've been seeing this so many times and nobody is ever picking it up. So I'm kind of curious to know what it's about. I'll take it home, read as much of it as I can before I get bored and see what happens. So I took it home. 12 years old, I'll remind you. This would have been 2016 because like I'm a baby.
Mhm.
And I began reading it and I got a few chapters in and I was like, why have I deprived myself from this masterpiece for so long? This is nothing like what I thought. This is amazing. The main character is literally me, which helps. And it's also about aliens and sci-fi, which I absolutely love. So that I read that. I read the sequel. So the first one is The Search for WondLA. The second book is The Battle for WondLA, and the third book is A Hero for WondLA. All very, very good. I have to say the first book is the best. But all of them are pretty good. And then I find out just a couple months ago that in 2024 somebody adapted this show into or this book into a TV show. I was
Well, not
randomly
to
looking.
somebody. Apple TV.
Oh, yes, Apple TV specifically decided to adapt it using their own personal DreamWorks kind of studio called I want to say Stardew. What was it called? It's not Stardew. uh
What?
what's the name of their production company? Let me look it up.
Was it
Uh
Skydance or something?
Skydance, thank you. Skydance Stardew Valley.
Stardew? Stardew Valley is a game. I've heard of it.
I know. I was confused. So Skydance Animation Studios is the production company behind the animation. I would say their quality is maybe almost as good as DreamWorks. They remind me a lot of DreamWorks and oh, I think another thing that confused me is Skydance. A year before it put out WondLA, it produced a show called Spellbound. I'm like Skydance, Spellbound, Stardew, very confusing. I watched Spellbound with some neighbors because I was babysitting them, and their 3-year-old really liked Spellbound. And I remember watching it and thinking,
Oh,
"Hey,
it's meant
this
for
isn't."
3-year-old?
Well, it was greatly enjoyed by a 3-year-old. It was very reminiscent of a Pixar well, more Disney. It was very reminiscent of like a Disney animated movie musical, kind of like Tangled. I mean, it was nothing like Tangled, but it was definitely trying to be a cheaper thing in the realm of Tangled. And I could go on and on about how Tangled was so good that it ended up ruining Disney. Um, but
That's a theory.
we can no, it's less of a
I
theory
like
and more of an
Tangled.
opinion.
It was good.
No, Tangled is really good. I also think Frozen was awesome, but I also watched it as a 9-year-old and heavily identified with Elsa. But the thing is,
Wow, who knew?
I think every single 6 to 9 year 5 to 9-year-old girl identified with Elsa, so I was definitely not unique.
Uh,
But out of all the girls who
maybe the
identified with
outcast.
okay, everybody thinks they're an outcast, especially girls. Like every girl well, no, I no, it's not even a gender thing. Everybody seems to think they're an outcast. Um,
Really?
yeah. I know I've talked to like so have you not talked to, like, a million people who all said they weren't like other girls or they didn't relate to anybody or they had a hard time making friends and they didn't understand small talk or
No, no,
society?
no, that just myself, and,
Oh
everybody else
oh
seemed
oh,
to be
you're
doing
special.
fine.
Oh, you're special and unique and different.
It's not it's not been my
Mhm.
experience, no. It's,
Okay, well, everybody or pretty much everybody I attract, both romantically and
it's a
platonically, but I'm
California thing, maybe?
well, no, I dude, I talk to people across the world, and again, like, everybody I talk to feels like an outcast in some way.
Maybe you attract those people.
I
I
was
mean,
just gonna say
hi.
that, and then you interrupted me and mansplained.
Well, as a representative of those people, I have a chance I have a right to speak about it.
Mhm, mhm.
Mhm,
But we're getting off track. So I'm talking about WondLA and how so when I watched WondLA, I watched all of it before you, and then I was
mhm.
like, "This is really good. We should watch it together," and we did, and we watched season 1 and season 2, and we're gonna watch season 3 when it comes out on November
Yes,
26th. So stay tuned for that because we will probably talk about it when it comes out, and I have a feeling I will have a lot more to say about that season in particular because 'cause I'm going back,
oh
and
dear.
so each season is based off each book, which I will say that's really good. I remember well, I don't remember because I wasn't there. This was the '90s, but I
Oh,
remember
wait,
when
so the
yeah.
end of season 2 is sort of similar to the end of book 2?
Um, in theory, but not really at all, actually. A couple of very important
Oh,
things happen in the book that did not happen in the show, and also might affect how they decide to do season 3.
right, right, right.
Spoilers ahead, and I will go into what I think they're gonna take out from season 3, or what I'm afraid of them taking out, which would really piss me off because that was the whole building point of the 3rd book. So the first
Well,
so
then they
this
probably wouldn't take it out, though.
okay, well, they shouldn't, but they took out a couple of pretty big things from the very end of book 2 or season
Well,
2.
maybe they put that in the beginning of season 3, they sometimes do that.
They might. I'm worried they're not.
I'm
Yeah?
reminded of,
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings doing that.
I didn't watch Lord
I
of the
read the
Rings.
books,
Mhm. Nerd.
and there's, like, a big scene with, like, well, there's a spider, let's say,
A
and that
fire?
happens at the end of book 2, a spider.
A spider. Ooh, spooky.
Mhm, and, I think
You
they put
think?
that in the beginning of movie 3 instead,
Okay.
sort of to keep the fans hooked, which was kind of unnecessary, to be honest. Everybody was gonna see the 3rd movie.
Mhm. Well, if anybody watches it back, um, hold on, did I send it to you? No, I wanna send it to the group chat. Okay, well, if anyone watches this back, let us know if the spider thing happened at the beginning of movie 3.
I'm pretty sure, I mean, it's been a while, but
Okay.
they also
Maybe
cut a
we
whole
yeah.
section out of the that did happen in the 3rd book that's
I
does
hate
not
when they do
happen in the
that.
movie.
I hate when they do
Although
that.
it was actually good because that was a very silly, goofy thing that was completely unnecessary, and,
Yeah.
well, I hated it, and I'm glad I the movie is just much better than the book, honestly.
Really? My dad
Mhm. Oh,
prefers the
yeah.
books to the movie. He's a book purist.
Yeah, no, I normally, I would be too, but the movies cut out just the right amount of nonsense in the books.
The only
Maybe
movies
it's because I'm not too big on fantasy stuff, so the more they cut out, the
oh,
better.
me too. That was the one thing that kept me away from reading the WondLA series for so long because I was afraid it was gonna be more fantasy. Um,
Hmm.
I will say that the 2 well, we're just gonna get into a completely different topic, but the 2 movies that I think are way better than the books are Peter Pan, the Disney Peter Pan, and the Disney Alice in Wonderland. Those books were bananas. I much preferred the more
Oh, I like Alice in
cohesive,
Wonderland.
warm, pleasant Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan.
Well, I mean, Alice in Wonderland was not like the whole point was not to be cohesive, I would say.
Well, I don't like books that aren't cohesive or coherent, and it
I
wasn't
see.
either. I
Not
remember
really absurdist type of.
I cracked open Alice in Wonderland to I forgot if this was Alice in Wonderland or Alice Through the Looking Glass. But either way, I cracked it open and it was a chapter where Alice was talking to a duchess and the duchess was nursing a baby. Now the thing was this is old English, so nursing meant carrying, not breastfeeding.
Mhm.
But I didn't know that. I was like, why are we walking in on a woman with her boobies out? This is a children's book. Uh, so Alice
I think that says more
approaches
about you than the book, though.
be quiet. So Alice approaches the Duchess, and the baby's screaming. And Alice, I don't know, criticizes the woman for how she's holding the baby. So she's like, "Here, you can nurse it." She throws the baby to Alice, and I'm like, "But isn't Alice a child? How is Alice gonna breastfeed the baby?" And then the baby turns into a pig and runs away.
Yes, that's the
Do you
absurdist
remember that?
part.
I don't like it personally.
Oh dear. Well,
Mm.
that's personal taste, I guess. I
I
mean,
prefer
I
I prefer my absurdist in like 2-minute increments. Like if it's a 2-minute short film, fine.
oh,
If it's
Gen
a
Z,
six,
huh? Jeez.
yeah, right. Well, no,
Like
most
a
Gen Z
YouTube
just
short?
okay. YouTube shorts are usually not 2 minutes long. I'm talking about a
No,
short film
no.
length, or even 1 minute long. I do enjoy some absurdist things, but I think the beauty is is the artwork of it and making it as short as possible, really. Like, if you can make a really good 20-second absurdist, macabre short film, that's perfect. 20 seconds is good,
I see. Well,
you know.
I was gonna recommend
Less
us
is
watching
more.
Monty Python at some point,
Okay,
but I don't know.
sure. Like, Life of Brian or just in general?
Well, in general, yeah.
Okay. Okay, sure. Yeah,
Well,
I'm
they
down.
do lots of short skits too.
Okay. Um, So back to WondLA, I do want to talk about at some point, when we actually get into talking about it, what things I did right and in what ways they made the show more cohesive than the book, which I do actually appreciate. So, all right, well, let's get into it. So we watched WondLA together, and you already knew a lot of the plot because I told you from the book. So, what
Well,
did you
yeah,
think when
and
you
I
saw
couldn't
it?
stop you. You were gonna say it.
Well,
You
see,
were gonna talk about it.
I shared
You're
it
very
with you.
excited about it.
I shared it with you before I think even I watched it and before you watched it because I didn't expect you to watch it. I didn't expect you to like it, and then you got really invested and I was excited. So
Mhm.
what was your impression when you watched it?
No, I think it was very good.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm see, I never read the book, so I have
Mhm.
no idea what they cut or what they
I
should
absolutely
have cut or didn't.
I encourage you to read the books. I think you'll like the books.
Uh, I already know what's gonna happen, so that's a bit. Uh,
Well, you don't know everything that's gonna happen. You should read the books. You should get an audiobook.
yeah,
You can
we'll
listen to it in the
see.
car. You better. I'm
I
gonna
prefer
make
the
you.
animation, honestly. It's easier to
You're very disrespectful.
just.
So who's the zoomer now? No, I don't want to read a book. I just want to watch a show. I just want to have it spoon fed to me. I don't want to think for myself or use my
Oh,
imagination.
this is meant for tweens or something, right?
Well, the only two people I know who enjoyed it, well, me and another person, oh, and then you, is me and a 22-year-old woman. Um, See, here's the thing.
Well,
I
but no,
yeah,
it seems to be very much aimed at kids. I mean, I watched it, and the
and you're a
show at least
kid,
is.
obviously.
Well, thank you. I try.
Oh,
Anyway,
he found that to be a compliment, ladies and gentlemen. That says a lot
Well,
about him. Okay, so,
yeah,
uh,
I'm
alright,
saying
well,
that the show is very much aimed at kids. I mean, that's that's
okay,
just true.
here's the thing, though. It had horrible advertising. I didn't see any trailers or ads for it.
No.
This has to be somebody who has a family and they all subscribe to Apple TV, which is silly because if first of all, if you're a family and you're gonna subscribe to a streaming service, you're mostly gonna choose Disney Plus. A lot of people have multiple, but I think well, okay, I can't I don't know
Quite a lot of
statistics.
Apple fanboys and girls who just
Yeah, but
like
are
you get
they
Apple. I think you get Apple TV with some stuff as well.
okay, but are they parents with children?
Yeah, lots of parents. I mean, all kids have iPhones, right?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, I work in elementary school and most of them don't have iPhones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh well, here they
Which
do. It's like if you
well,
don't
they
have an
shouldn't.
iPhone as like a 12-year-old, you're just
Okay, well, elementary school is under 12. Okay,
oh,
so if you're
okay.
saying all kids have phones, like, does your friend's 6-year-old and 3 year
No, no,
old,
no, no, no.
5-year-old, and 3-year-old have? Okay.
No, but
How about the other
I
kind of
think like 10,
youngish?
11 is when they get phones usually,
Oh,
and they're
okay.
almost always iPhones.
Okay,
Like
that's
95% of
really.
them. It's
What
crazy.
about in your country? They get the children
Yeah.
iPhones? Really? Wow.
Yep.
I thought they would
Yeah.
get Samsung or something. Most.
Well, some of them get hand-me-downs, but
Oh.
it's like
Is this
yeah,
a newer thing?
nothing.
Because I feel like a number of people I've talked to who don't live within the United States have, Androids.
Well, usually people are a bit poorer, so that they get the cheaper phones, but
Are Androids cheaper?
people are for some reason, people are ready to splurge for the kids, you know?
Interesting.
And they buy
Uh,
a cheaper phone for themselves.
yes. Oh, okay, okay, yeah, we will not be doing that. Um, anyway,
Oh, no, you
s
want the latest and greatest for yourself.
I actually don't. I think none of us should get the latest and greatest. I think we should all get flip phones. Flip phones.
Well, I do, I have one.
No, I think we should get, like, old-fashioned razors with, like, the
Oh,
tactile
well,
keypad.
well, we'll discuss it, but the answer is no.
Anyway, what were we talking WondLA, we were talking about WondLA, okay, you're right, you thought it was good. It was engaging, it had good hooks at the end of every episode. As somebody who read the books, I would say that overall it is fairly book accurate in most of the designs, much of the plot, and definitely the themes. I would say the theme of the WondLA trilogy is family and specifically found family. The word WondLA in and of itself is Eva's connection to the outside world and that is kind of it includes a picture of what appears to be a family, and she constantly fantasizes about it because that's what she wants. She wants to have a family. So Wanda, in and of itself, becomes synonymous with family. Found family is the
Mhm.
theme, and
Yeah.
the show does a
I
good
mean,
job.
yeah, aimed at kids, as I said, yeah.
Yes, okay, well, with what I was going is I don't think it was advertised very well. Um, I'm not a person who was a child and had Apple TV. I mean, this might shock you, but I was kind of around before a lot of the streaming services. I don't know.
Really?
Well, I was definitely around before Disney Plus. I don't remember when Apple
I've
TV
never
Plus
had
came.
Disney Plus, so I wouldn't know.
Well, no, because you were not a child at that time, nor are you a parent with Disney Plus aged children.
No, yeah, well, I know a few, and yeah, they all
Okay,
it's
well,
on
point
all the
is,
time, yeah.
so I'm wondering how they advertised WondLA because I never saw trailers for it on YouTube. I don't know if you would see trailers for it. If you were watching something on Apple TV, I don't know if it would get recommended to you. I didn't see any posters anywhere, so I don't know how they advertised it. So, first of all, I'm thinking shame on them because they are really not gonna get a return for the amount of money they invested by not advertising it. I understand advertising costs
Hmm,
money, but, it doesn't sound like they did much to advertise it, which is a shame. I only found it because I randomly decided to look up the book after thinking about it for a bit, and that's when I found out, "Oh, there's a 2024 show adaptation." And
right.
then I watched a trailer on
Well, I mean,
YouTube.
it is a bit difficult to understand how these streaming services work and how they like make money. Like
Mhm.
I so they have to have sort of like filler stuff that's just there to keep you subscribed for another month, right?
I don't understand.
Like people usually subscribe for one or two big reasons, right?
Okay.
I remember when Netflix became big, they had like these huge shows that they advertised like crazy. Like,
Mhm.
The Orange is the New Black was a big one, and Stranger Things for the nostalgia crowd and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Had these really big shows, but they also had a lot of stuff that like once you're done with those shows, they want you to stay subscribed for another month,
Yeah. Yeah.
preferably another year, so you can wait for the next season of the big show,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but you need to have stuff to watch then.
Yeah.
So they fill it up with cheaper, uh, sometimes lesser quality stuff.
And do you think that was maybe what WondLA was?
I don't know, but if they didn't advertise it very much, maybe. I mean,
Okay.
who would subscribe to Apple TV just for WondLA? I
Me.
mean, as you say, it is a pretty obscure book series.
Exactly. So I
So,
think all right, well, anyway, so I think Apple TV approached Tony D. Terlizzi, he was the author, and they were like, "Hey,
mhm,
sorry, I'm a little bit distracted right now because I'm trying to figure out how to write messages in the chat because I'm not able to do that on Streamlabs, which is what I'm using, and I'm not seeing any comments. So I'm wondering if there are comments that I'm not interacting with, or I don't know. I'm concerned. What's going on live? Sorry, I'm just
oh,
gonna
well,
yeah.
yes, and I think it's good that they got the original author involved at least. I mean,
Mhm.
he has a
Mhm.
executive producer credit, it seems, so that's
Yeah.
good, I guess.
Yes.
There have been adaptations, where the author has denounced it.
This is true. Yeah, so the author was pretty excited about it. I think it was because a lot of people don't know about it, so he was maybe
Mhm,
surprised and kind of flattered that somebody would wanna turn something he wrote into a show adaptation, and he
yeah.
was simply just grateful enough to have all 3 books included. So, as I was saying earlier when you so rudely interrupted me, I I used to be pretty
Well, that's why
into
I'm
this
here.
Yes, you're not my co-host, you're my
Otherwise, you'd just be
interrupter.
yapping on all night, yeah.
Oh, well, people like it. Huh. Hold on, okay, live, Didn't I don't wanna hear that. I wanna see okay. I have it pulled up. I wanna see if anyone has left any comments. Now I can interact with people. Okay. I want people watching now. That would be me. Sorry, very unprofessional.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, I used to be very into this book series called Left Behind, which is a Christian book series
Oh, yes, I've heard
imagining
about it.
a
It's
very
very crazy.
I don't know. Well, I thought the first 3 or 4 books were really good, but after
3
that,
or 4 books? Wow, okay.
there may be 7 or 8 books in the series,
Well,
and
so
I yeah.
let me get this
Mhm.
straight. This is about, uh, people getting sucked up into heaven during the rapture, and then people stay left behind,
Exactly.
and it becomes like a dystopia or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I that this must have been like 10 years or so. I watched a YouTube video about those
Mhm.
books, and,
Mhm. Well, I read
uh,
those books.
oh my word, that channel, you know,
Which one?
well, it was like a channel of 2, ex-Christians who reviewed Christian literature for
Okay.
funsies.
What
But
it
then
what
they had
oh,
a falling out, one of them
oh,
transitioned, and
oh,
they accused each other of sexual misconduct, the whole thing.
oh.
Yeah.
And this isn't our 2 mutual friends, is it?
No, 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 definitely not, no.
Okay, interesting.
Maybe you could
Um,
maybe I'll tell you about it, so it's kinda crazy.
let's
I mean,
talk about that. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
it's quite a it sort of mimics don't know if you've ever heard of the atheism plus schism.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it was basically a bit like that.
Okay,
Very
so one
crazy.
of one of them kind of went a little bit more conservative alt-right, and the other went more lib intersectional
Oh no,
feminist.
no, no. They both
Oh.
went very, very lib, which
Okay, so they
is
both went very lib intersectional feminist, but
yeah, and they went too far, so they just like often happens in that kind of stuff is that they start fighting with each other because it
oh,
becomes like a purity spiral kind of thing, and
that's not good.
no, it was
Hmm.
I mean, I stopped watching them long before that because they just got annoying. But
That's very Republican of you. Just kidding.
no, it's just a lot of it's hard to be a YouTuber and do consistent good stuff for years on end, you know?
I have,
I know, and
but
I
I'm
have
not really
some other channels that I've watched for a
yeah.
long time that
Yeah,
have
I'm
done
not
that,
really
but
a
it
YouTuber though. I'm not doing it for the
no.
money. I am doing it for my own entertainment, and that probably does help. Because when you quit your
That
job
that
and
helps a
decide to do,
lot.
if you quit your job and decide to be a YouTuber full time, then you really do have to chase the algorithm to make money, and then your videos might
Uh,
just
I have
decrease.
some
And
thoughts about that, but that's sort of irrelevant at the moment.
let's talk about that for a different video. Okay,
Yeah,
so
well, there are some people who I think have kept integrity and just make videos that they like, and they might have a job on the side, but they just don't talk about it, and then
well, I mean, that's my
that's the
point. That's
best.
when you don't make YouTube your full-time job, and I think that is best.
Yeah.
I don't think
Oh
social
man,
media
that
should
would be
be a full-time
crazy.
job.
No.
Yeah, I don't think social media was ever meant or designed to be a full-time job. Okay, but Left Behind was adapted into three films in the 90s and then one not very book accurate, I forgot his
We should
name.
totally watch that film.
The famous guy? What? Which film?
He said they were made films of it.
I watched all of them. Um, the first one is pretty good. And I think the second one is good too. Now, the third film completely deviated from the books. It was not
Oh.
like the third book at all, and I don't know how the authors felt about it, but yeah, it wasn't turned and I don't know, completely deviated from the book series. And in WondLA, they are not doing that. They're maintaining some integrity and staying true to the themes of the books, and the characters, most of the characters, all the main characters, and the plots. Um, but they are taking a few deviations, and yeah, I'm gonna talk about that now. So about 30 minutes in, I'm gonna tell you the plot of WondLA, and then where the show deviated. So
Mhm.
WondLA is set maybe 1,000 years in the future, and then I think in the book in the show they make it only a couple hundred years in the future. I don't like that change
Yeah.
as much, but that's like anyway. I'm getting too detail. So it's set about 1,000 years in the future. Um, the Earth's biosphere has collapsed due to, pollution and uh environmental change and the climate crisis.
Mhm.
So all the animals went extinct, most of the people died, and this one guy named Cadmus Pride created a plan for a bunch of underground sanctuaries for test tube babies known as Earth in vitro alpha. So it would be Eva if you were a girl and Evan if you were a boy. And they would be hatched in these underground sanctuaries. They would be like hatched in these underground sanctuaries and they would be raised by robots called Mother, which is short for multi utility task helper robot. And they
Yes, and
would
also sounds like mother, wink, wink,
yes,
nudge, nudge.
yes, yes. Ha 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 ha. I always
No, no,
pronounce
I don't mind. I don't
I always
mind.
pronounce it with this weird accent like mother because it doesn't look like mother.
I know, but it's just the characters in the show just say mother.
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the whole point. And there's a little bit of commentary where, oh, can a robot actually become sentient and develop her own feelings and truly love this child that she's been programmed to care for? Um, this is both explored in the book and in the show. Eva is trained to survive on the surface of, the regular world with trees and, looking for
Mhm.
shelter and looking for food so that she can survive on the surface once she turns 16. Now, so in the book, she ends up leaving when she's 12 years old because her sanctuary gets destroyed by what appears to be an alien. And when Eva steps foot on the surface, she finds out that all the plants look completely different than what she has been taught
Mhm.
plants are supposed to look like. The plants are eating birds. Um, the plants are trying to eat her in the show. The birds have four wings. The creatures are all different. It's crazy sauce, man. It's crazy town.
Oh, yeah.
She has this omnipod that's basically like her own Alexa or her OK Google that do you remember when OK Google was a thing? Okay, let's not get into that, but I remember getting, like,
It
lots
still
of
is. I say it to my phone sometimes.
really? Okay, well, you're
When I'm in the
a
car, you know?
okay, well,
Hands-free
you're
and
a
all that,
Google
gotta be
Plus
safe.
dude. Anyway, no, I remember in the 2010s
Do
getting
people not say, "Hey Siri" anymore?
people well, I interact with more
Did
people
I
who
just
use
activate a
Hey
bunch of
Siri.
iPhones?
I interact with more people who use Hey Siri than OK Google. I remember getting
Okay,
lots of ads for it in the 2010s when I would use these different games on my iPad. But
I
anyway,
see.
anyway. So it's her own personal omniscient assistant, hence the Omnipod, the omniscience pod. And she kind of holds
How
it like a
convenient.
it's shaped like a magnifying glass. She kind of hold it like one, and she asks it questions. She asks it to identify everything around her, and it can't. None of it is in its database.
Wait, did she do that in the show too?
She does do that in the show, but it's just a little
It's not
disc
a
that
magnifying glass.
no,
Yeah.
it's a disc that's on a wristband, so it's a bit different. I don't really care about the change, to be honest. It's a little bit more convenient than carrying around a magnifying glass, and I feel like it would be more accurate to not be carrying around this goofy magnifying glass everywhere. Not
Also
very
easier to
futuristic.
animate, yeah, maybe.
Yes, and I don't. Yeah, true. It's easier to animate just something on her wrist all the time instead of animating her carrying something around with her all the time. This is true.
Mhm.
Um, However, when Eva ends up meeting other humans, there's a bit of this technology contrast where she's holding a magnifying glass omnipod, and they all have little omnipods built into their wrists, which oh, also it's implied that like they have electrodes throughout their entire body. These people in New Attica, but we'll get into that. So when Eva emerges on the surface, she meets this alien named Rovender Kit, and she meets another alien that she names Otto. In the book, Otto has a mate that is killed. In the show, they take that
Ooh.
out, which I don't mind because it's extra. It's extra. It's not super relevant, and books allow you to just fit in more on the individual pages.
Mhm, mhm.
So Eva and Rovender and Otto are kidnapped by this huntsman named Bastille. He works for Queen Oho. Queen Oho is the ruler of Orbona. We find out that Earth is no longer Earth, but it's actually Orbona. It's the same planet, but it has been colonized by aliens, and now all the life forms are different, and they don't know where any of the other humans are. They've never seen a human in their lives. Um,
Mhm.
Bastille, is trying to collect a bunch of creatures, including a human, Eva, in order to take them to the Queen's menagerie and taxidermize them. And
Wait, is that really the goal?
yes.
Does he get paid for that or something? 'Cause I've
Okay, let me
that
explain.
wasn't very well explained, you know?
Okay, well, the book explains it so much better. So the reason Bastille is
Right.
doing this is because Bastille and his brother Redimus, whom we meet in the third book, and I hope we meet him in the third show because he's kind of an important character. Bastille
Mhm.
and Redimus get drunk one day because they're dumb men. Just kidding, I'm not a misandrist. I love men. And they
Uh-huh.
decide they debate with each other who's the better huntsman. And Bastille like verbally manipulates his brother into destroying all the animals and creatures in the queen's menagerie. So the queen locks up Redimus, and he will only go free if Bastille catches all those same creatures and brings them back and replaces her menagerie. That's the whole reason he
I
does this.
see.
I didn't reread the first book, so I don't remember if he ever accomplished that goal. It sounds like he didn't because he kept chasing Eva, and it sounds like Redimus didn't ever escape until like third book later. We'll find out. Getting ahead of myself. Um, so in the book, Eva and Rovender and Mother and Otto end up going to the city of Lacus, I believe. It's a kind of fishing city, as shown in the show. I do not remember a spider-fish race happening at all. Another thing we find out,
No, that seems like a bit like padding, but it I think it was meant to introduce like Eva's
it was meant to,
signature
yeah,
power. Yeah, so you can like
yes.
read and not only that, so you can read and compel minds
Yeah, so
of
she
the
she
aliens.
she basically can use telepathy, but only on animals on Orbona and eventually some plants. um, Give me a
Wait,
moment. Let
not on
me.
like sentient beings, but
No, she cannot use them on people. It's not like the Force. So
but
she can't
but
use it on Rovender. She can't
the
use it on Bastille or the Queen.
right, but she can use it on the thingy that races, the eel or whatever.
Yes, that would be an animal.
And that one talks back. That is sentient.
Well, yes, all the creatures talk back to her when she talks to them, but
Yeah,
they're different from
but
people.
right.
They're
So it's
yeah.
not nothing to do with intelligence. It's just some on some it works, on some it doesn't.
Well, it's like she can communicate with animals and plants. She can't telepathically communicate with people. And people are the aliens with, advanced communication and writing and
The
language, and the
humanoid.
animals. What?
Humanoids.
Yeah, I guess that's the right word for them. I mean, I think that's what they call it in Star Wars, and a lot of the characters were sort
Hmm.
of styled after Star Wars humanoids. So yeah, any of the sort of humanoid aliens that can be translated to speak in English or whatever language
Right,
Eva
but
and
she
everyone else is
does do
speaking.
it with Otto too, and he seems somewhat intelligent and sentient.
Okay, well, the thing is, you didn't hear what Otto says in the book. So, in the book, when she telepathically communicates with the creatures, they really only speak in 1 to 2 word phrases.
Hmm.
And in the show, they can talk back in full sentences, which I actually find more annoying. I think that
Yes.
I like the kind of separation of when she communicates telepathically, she has to sort of use 1 2 word phrases and she gets responses in 1 to 2 word phrases. And this is how she and Otto communicate. So if I remember correctly, and I probably don't, in the first book, she can really only telepathically communicate with Otto and maybe 1 or 2 other creatures. So in the show,
Right.
she pretty consistently is able to talk to all the animals, and we find this out from the very beginning. And when Eva eventually does get kidnapped by Bastille and ends up about to be taxidermized, she escapes. So in the show, this happens. She escapes by telepathically communicating with a sand sniper, and sand snipers are creatures
Yes.
in the book. And the sand sniper pretends to play dead, and Zim. Zin, we would get into who Zin is. Zin is the guy who's kind of studying her and examining her, and then there's kind of a mole-shaped taxidermist who is the one who does the taxidermizing. Zin is more the resident
Hmm.
scientist. He doesn't do the taxidermy part. Um, but the sand sniper plays dead. Zin goes to investigate it. He opens it up, and then the sand sniper attacks him. And then the sand sniper breaks Eva's restraints, and then she escapes. Now, in the book, Eva. Okay, so we have to go back to when Eva is in Lacus. This happens both in the show and the book. When Eva is in Lacus,
Hmm.
she meets a creature named Ar wait, oh my goodness, Arius. Arius. In the show they call her Darius. I feel like they just forgot that Arius and Darius were 2 different people, and Darius was her sister, and we never actually meet Darius throughout the entirety of the trilogy. But
Oh.
Yeah. I don't really know why they switched Arius and Darius, but which also makes me wonder if they're not going to do like the big thing that I'm hoping they do in the 3rd season. I'm worried that they won't because it will be too hard to animate, and I'll be so pissed off if they don't do that. I'm gonna scream.
Mm, I mean, it's a pivotal moment, right? So they kind of have to.
Well, yeah, it is a pivotal moment, but there was a pivotal moment at the end of book 2. But we'll get into that. Okay. So when Eva meets Arius, okay, so Arius is a alien called an Arzian, and all the
Hmm.
Arzians migrated from different planets under the leadership of Queen Oho when they colonized Earth, now renamed Orbona. And Arius traveled here with her 3 siblings, Darius, Lorik and Zin. I don't know why the two boys don't have rhyming names. It's weird, but there's Arius, Darius, and those two. Arius has the power to see into the future. Darius has the power to see into the past. Lorik has strength, like military strength and intelligence, and Zin has scientific intelligence. So the girls
I
really
mean,
got much more
if
powerful.
you were saddled with being able to look into the past, you'd feel like you were ripped off. I mean, I can look into the past.
Well, so
Not really.
when Darius arrives on Earth, she can see into the past of what happened to the humans on Orbona, and they
Oh, I
wouldn't
see.
know. So it's like it's not just her
Okay,
memories
so it's mildly
necessarily.
useful.
Yes, it can be useful. Or I don't know, if you could see into the past and realize that everything you've been taught in history class or a big thing you've been taught in history class was a lie. So it would be like that. It's kind of like mental
Oh, that's easy. Just
time
go on
traveling.
YouTube. There's lots of people willing to tell you that.
Yes, but like with these powers, it's actually accurate, and it's very
Right,
useful if
right.
you jump from planet to planet and want to know what happened to those planets that we don't know.
I see.
It would
Okay,
help
is
you
that a
learn.
spoiler alert?
It would help you learn whether God actually created the Earth 6,000 years ago, or whether um billions of natural processes led to the Earth as it is today. It could be
Mhm.
useful like that. Anyway, okay, so Eva meets Arius, and Arius reveals her future to her. She also puts a hieroglyph tattoo thing on her wrist, or I don't know, tattoo scar thing. She implants something onto Eva's wrist and marks her. Now, when Eva ends up nearly getting taxidermized by the taxidermist, and that's literally just his name, the taxidermist, and Zin recognizes the hieroglyph and he's like, "Wait, you met my sister." And then he lets her go free, and Eva ends up talking to the queen. So that wasn't in the show at all. I think that would have been cool,
No.
but I do appreciate what they did. They wanted to make Eva's telepathy as cohesive as possible, to make it very clear Eva can telepathically
Well, they wanna
communicate with
give her more
animals.
agency as well. Like, she has to do stuff.
I feel like she does plenty in the book, if
Yeah,
not
well,
more.
it's a kids show, you gotta it has to be a bit of a Mary Sue and stuff.
Well, she is. I think that she's a little bit less of a Mary Sue in the book, because she's known to be more impulsive and make mistakes, and in the show she doesn't really do that. In the show they also age her
Well,
up.
she is impulsive, but and she
Oh,
certainly
yeah.
knows how to do a lot of things out of nowhere when it's necessary.
Yeah, she knows how to do way less in the book, and she is taught by aliens around her. But
And
she
we just don't see that in the show, I guess.
in the show, she just naturally has way better communication and adaptation skills than she does in the book.
Right.
Now, she
She's
did
very
also.
good at parkour too.
Yeah, that's not book accurate. That was never mentioned in the book, but I think that's literally just for plot convenience to make her
Well,
good
and
at
and they
parkour.
also showed her training that stuff, I guess, while she was still in
They
the
did show her
pod
training that
thing,
stuff.
so I
Another
guess it was set up, but it's
another bit
very
of a
handy.
Yes. Another bit of a deviation from the book and the show is we are never introduced to Cadmus Pride until book 2, and Eva is not
Mhm,
introduced to a holograph or a hologram of Cadmus Pride in her lessons. She's introduced to him later in the show. Cadmus Pride, she meets a hologram of Cadmus Pride when she's about 6 years old, which is when she starts her training, and he and her little animated character friends guide her through all the lessons, and then she learns the major sciences and history and
mhm.
survival and parkour and all those things.
Oh, that
Also,
was him, okay. I didn't
yes.
get that when I first watched it, yes.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, I thought it was
The
just
man
a
that she found?
random hologram, yeah.
No, that man was Cadmus Pride.
Yes, yeah, okay, I got that now. That's and then at
She
the end of the season, she meets another hologram of him in the wild.
yes. She is also taught her lessons by, in the show, a cat named Migo. In the book, it's Bibu. I don't really. Maybe Bibu was an existing franchise, and they didn't want to get sued for using Bibu, so
Mm,
that had to go to Migo. I don't know. Bit of a
I think
deviation, but
so, yeah, another
that's
TV
probably
show
the only
used
thing.
that too, yeah.
That's probably the main reason that they did that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's fine.
I don't remember. I don't know. All the characters in New Attica in the show seem to all be obsessed with Miko, and I don't think it was so in the book. But I do remember a lot of people liking Bibu in the book, and a bunch of girls call Eva Bibu as a nickname or like a pet name or something. And that was actually really cute. But
How mean.
I wait, you know what? Sometimes some of us like a little bit of loving patronizing from some cute older girls, so I can't say that Eva's necessarily losing here.
Sounds a bit like fan fiction, dear.
Shut up. Anyway, well, it's not fan fiction. It's a completely like original and new concept that Tony D. Terlizzi wrote himself. Okay, so uh, yeah, Eva basically finds out what happened to Orbona from Queen Oho, or what she knows, essentially. And she finds out that
Mhm.
essentially people wiped out themselves and aliens took over. If I recall correctly,
And then
because
she gets
it's
a car. Or
I
are we not
believe
there yet?
I okay, I do not remember where she got the goldfish. I don't remember where she got the goldfish. She might have gotten it from the palace. The goldfish is a hover car that Eva uses to travel to New York City in the show, and I think the book as well. I don't remember where she got the goldfish. But in the show it says so in the show they completely changed Queen Oho's character. I actually completely hate this. Um
Oh
so
dear.
okay,
Okay.
so in the book Queen Oho is this like very emotionally strong, majestic, kind of praying mantis butterfly moth looking thing, and she's like 200 years old. She's pretty old, she's an adult, and she's very
Stuff
much
of
in control of her
nightmares,
kingdom.
basically.
I think she looks so cool. She's kind of hot though. Like she looks really cool in the book. And in the
Okay.
show they completely rip away her super cool design and her outfit
Yeah.
design and like all her arms. I forgot how many arms she has in the show. Two pairs, one
It's
pair.
become somewhat nondescript, like very,
Yeah, I don't
sort of
like
smooth
that.
alien.
I really don't like
Kinda
that.
remind me of, one of the aliens from Star Wars. I
Oh,
forget what they're called. They were on the clone planet.
oh,
Camino was
Kamito?
was,
Is that the
one of
planner?
them.
Is that what they're called?
I think that's what they're called
I don't know.
too.
They make her look a little bit like a fuzzy seahorse, but with a more humanoid body in the show, as opposed to the book. I think her design
Yeah.
was so much cooler in the book.
Very shiny.
Right, okay, so what I wanted to do, let me close everything so that I don't show you something I don't want you to see. um, I'm gonna open a window capture and we're gonna take a look at Queen Oho. We are gonna talk about the character designs, 'cause I have a lot to say. Right, window capture.
Mhm.
Let's put that at the front. Oh, okay. Alright, I'm gonna have to open a new window and I'm gonna have to get there. Alright, let me go to Chrome. Uh
Well, you should share it with me too, so I can see it.
I will hold on. Wait, I don't want to use this one. I don't want to use this one. I'm gonna use maybe sorry, friends, technical difficulties. I'm gonna open it incognito mode. There's a particular website that always shows up as a bookmark at the very top, and I don't want it to. And I have to figure out how to no, I want a new tab, new incognito window.
Ooh.
Yes. Shh. How do I get rid of this? All bookmarks. Can I delete? Uh bookmark
Well,
manager.
I don't know what you're doing.
Okay, well
Um,
anyway, just ignore it. I'm gonna go to Queen Oho search for WondLA. Okay. There we go. Now let me share my I I'm struggling. Go away. Struggling to find Streamlabs. All right. I'm gonna delete window capture. I'm gonna add, yes, I'm gonna delete window capture. Yes, please. I'm gonna add a new window capture. No, I don't want a new folder. I'm gonna add a new source. I'm very good at this, by the way, clearly. Window
we were
capture.
clearly assigned ready at birth because, like, everything is ready.
Yes. All right, let me. There we go. Okay. Uh, Excited Eraser. From your end, you can just look up Queen Oho, the search for WondLA. Just type that in.
Mhm.
I'm not looking at a particular website. Although you can, well, here, I will send you this link because this will help with just how the character looks from the book. This is um
Oh, I
fandom.
remember it from yes.
I
I
mean,
remember
yeah,
the picture.
I sent you a lot of photos, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Rin's texted me. Oh, Rin's is sending me stuff. All right, so I think you guys can see it. Let's take a look at Queen Oho here. And also, let's look at all her like ladies in attending. I don't know what these are. I think these are her little like ladies of attending. Over here is little Zin. That's the brother of Arius. Here's another picture of Queen Oho. This is in the third book, I remember. Again, just look at that outfit. Look at this ruff. Look at these shoulder pads with the eyeball on
Mhm.
them. Look at these necklaces. Look at the tassels hanging from her sleeves. Look at this cool design. This is awesome. Also, this is her father over here. He has what appear to be, I don't know if they're tattoos or just actual skin markings, slightly similar to his daughter. He's got like some kind of mushrooms or something in his hair or whatever protrusions are coming out of his skull. Very cool look. I adore the character designs for these characters.
Mhm.
And also, as you can see up here, this is in the third book, if I remember correctly. She's looking at the solar system and the sun. Yeah.
Oh,
So, yeah, go
maybe
ahead.
it's, like, important to mention that a lot of these designs were, like, in the book, right?
Oh,
There were
yeah.
a lot of drawings in the book.
So Tony Di Terlizzi is a phenomenal artist as well as author, and he has a whole website where you can see his illustrations. He fully illustrated WondLA, The Search for WondLA, all of the books. So the show had a lot of designs to look at when
Right.
they were designing the characters. And I would say, like, for pretty much all of them, with a couple of exceptions, and we will absolutely get into that because Excited Eraser has a lot to say about that. Um, for most of them, the designs are very accurate, with like a little bit of cutesifying and making some characters furry when they're supposed to be more bony, but otherwise, like, just very book accurate. I
Oh,
was, yeah, yeah.
and the world is, very elaborate and colorful
The
and
world is very elaborate and colorful and reminiscent to the drawings of the world in
Mhm.
the book. Also, the machines are pretty similar to the ones in the book, although slightly less detailed because Skydance Productions. So I'm
Well, yeah,
showing you
but, like,
guys, yeah.
they put a lot of effort into the environments. They're
They did. No, they
very,
absolutely did.
dynamic, colorful, and there's lots to see, and it was worth animating, I would say.
Okay, so I'm now showing you guys pictures of Queen Oho in the show. So they give her interesting facial designs. They give her strange little goat ears.
They make it
Her
seem younger too,
They also absolutely made her younger. They made her more like she just ascended the throne. She's still doing princess
right? She's
training.
barely a
She's not,
teenager.
well, I wouldn't say like barely. I think she'd be about like Eva's age. I think she was going for like 16ish
Yeah, yeah,
or the
something like
human
that, yeah.
equivalent of 16 years old because they age well, I already said this, but they age Eva up to 16, which I don't like. Yeah. So her outfit is cool, and if I hadn't read the book, I'd be like, "Wow, I really like what they did," because her design is cool. But compared to the book, they really just cutesified her, and I don't like it because she looks so much cooler in the book. Also, I'm showing everyone here a picture. There's a picture of Queen Oho looking down at a hologram of Cadmus Pride, who also looks a bit different in the book, and
Mhm,
Loruk. And first of all, she is way bigger than Eva. She's not Eva's height, as she is in the show. She has at least two pairs of hands. They're pretty big. They're about as big as Eva's face. Hot. Just
mhm.
kidding. And Queen Oho, I don't know what these are. They appear to be wings or back spines or something. I think they're cool, and they add
Wings
to.
probably, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, she never flies. I don't know if it's one of those things that's like frowned upon and they don't do that anymore, but she's not, yeah, I don't know. Cool design. I absolutely love it, and I don't really like the choices they made in the book. Maybe they thought that Queen Oho in the book looked too scary, and they wanted their good guy to look more like a good guy. But whatever. And also, Queen
I
Oho isn't
guess, yeah.
exactly necessarily a good guy because again, she does want
Well,
Eva
she helps Eva,
taxidermized.
which makes her a good
She
guy, I
helps. She
guess.
helps Eva, but she initially does want her taxidermized. So okay,
Yeah, but
so
she changes her mind quite quickly.
yeah. Okay, well, I mean, in the show, she does. She doesn't really want it at all. She's convinced that Eva is dangerous and she's pretty easily manipulated. In
Oh,
the
yes, but
book,
also
yeah,
a good something to mention is that all the aliens see humans as just outright dangerous and worthy
yeah,
of, extermination, basically.
this is true, and I think,
And most of them don't even know what humans look like apparently, so
yeah,
it's been a while.
this is true in both
I like that though.
the book and the show. Oop, I accidentally showed a spoiler. We don't want to do that. Um, I'm gonna go back to our original image that we were putting up. No, don't crash, please. All right, we're back to looking at the cute kitty and the cute cockatoo again. Okay. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of Queen Oho's design, and I don't really like part of the show or part of that episode being her coming of age, coming into herself sort of story. I understand why they did it in order to like give Queen Oho a friend and give Eva a friend. It's a little bit cheesy, it's a little bit on the nose. I'm not a huge fan. I don't really like it. I like Queen Oho as she was instead of turning her into another quirky, insecure, misunderstood girl who just needs the strength to be
Mhm.
queen. Okay, so I will say,
Yes.
in the third book, Lorik talks to Queen Oho, and he doesn't talk to her because he knew her as queen. He talks to her because um of Darius. We will get into that. But he sees into her past
Mhm.
and he's like, "You never wanted to be queen. You were just an insecure little girl who didn't want to take the throne." So in a sense that is accurate, but they altered the timelines a little bit so that Eva is there when Oho is finally growing confident within herself. Also, in the
Sure.
show, Eva is being mentored by Lorik, who is Arius's brother. Both Lorik and Zin kind of work together. Zin basically replaces himself and the taxidermist, and Lorik is in charge of the army and kind of in charge of the kingdom. And then Queen Oho takes back her scepter and I guess sends Lorik away. So in that sense, they are going to make it more cohesive because eventually Lorik wants revenge and he wants to take over Orbona, and we don't. Well, I think it will be explained why. Well, no, it's not explained why. He's just a megalomaniac. He just wants power. Um, but in the show we can see like, oh, he at one point did have power and was in control of the throne, and then the queen dismissed him, so now he wants to take it back and seek revenge, and that's why he's seeking the help of these humans to take revenge. um
Mhm.
Lorik is not in season 2 at all, but he is quite a bit in the second book. I would say in the second
Oh, I see.
half or in the third of the book. Well, okay, let me talk about what happens in the second book. So in the second book, well, at the end of the first book, Eva meets her first human. His name is Haley Van Turner, and he takes her to New Attica, which is the colony where all the humans live. Now, most of the humans
Yes.
at New Attica are not these test tube sanctuary babies. That was like a plan that they gave up a while ago because it stopped working and all of them got contaminated. Now all of them,
Well, almost all
I
of them.
well, yeah, almost all of them. There's Eva, of course.
Yeah.
Now I think they all just have normal human parents. Like they get married and they have, or they don't get married and they just go around having kids. In
Mhm.
the in the book, they slut shame Cadmus a little bit. Um,
Well,
it's revealed
it's
that
implied that he's like the father, right, of all of them, so
well, it's implied that he's a father, and one of the characters tells Eva that he has like 70 children, and there
right.
are like I don't know if it's hundreds of thousands or millions of people living in New Attica, but it's like hundreds of thousands. It's like a really really big city or a small country of people living in New Attica, and maybe 70 of them are Cadmus's children, although we don't actually know. But yes, they all
Mhm.
like just have kids in New Attica, and that's where most of these people come from. However, some of the people in New Attica are they're called reboots in the book. They're called Sankbos in the show. I don't really know why. Maybe again
That's a
for
bit weird, yeah.
I'm trying to remember what was it like. Maybe somebody else already took reboot for a franchise and they didn't want to get sued or something by calling their characters reboots. But reboot is kind of implied to be similar to the R slur, and Eva feels like really
Right.
gross when someone calls her a reboot. Short out is another word used in the book that I don't remember is used
No, I don't think they
in.
used that in it. Yeah.
No, yeah, short out basically just means like idiot. They so Okay, so Eva goes to New Attica, and here is where there's another huge deviation from the book, and I really don't like it. They make New
Oh.
Attica. Okay, they make the basic idea of New Attica where everybody is blissfully unaware of what's going on, and they get everything they want all the time. They're always comfortable, their needs are always met, and they never have to think for themselves.
Mhm.
That part is accurate. The individual details I'm not a fan of. Although I will say there's one thing that I like in the book that there's one thing that I like in the show in New Attica that I think is better than in the book and illustrates more and is just generally more engaging. So in the book, Eva goes to New Attica. She's actually tricked into going to New Attica by Haley. So Haley Van Turner is um
A
I'm trying
boy
to
with the
what?
girl's name, which is weird.
Yes, he didn't like that. I'm trying. He's a retriever. He flies this
A golden
spacecraft.
retriever?
Yes, dear. No, I don't actually know what his hair color is because the book like makes his hair uh blue or colorless or something because it's a tri-colored a trichromatic
Oh,
uh
jeez.
thing illustration. Um, so in the book, basically, if anybody leaves a sanctuary, then a retriever will take a ship that is programmed to see that to go and get them, and track them via their omnipod. And it will get triggered as soon as this person leaves the sanctuary. So realistically, Eva could have actually just waited there, for like a few days, or it's not really implied. We don't really know the time frame of events of what happens in the book, but I'm gonna guess it's like over the course of maybe a couple of months at the most. But I think it was literally only just a few weeks. It's a pretty short time frame. And this is the first book, so Eva could have just stayed at the sanctuary. Okay, so in the show, they imply that like all the sanctuary born people, um, went on the surface and they were not used to surviving in this area, so they eventually all die.
Mhm.
In the book, they just emerge from their sanctuary and a ship just immediately takes them to New Attica. So there isn't
Right.
exactly this widespread death. So that is one thing that's less dark than it is in the show. I will say that showing mass graves in the show and showing all these sanctuary borns being like slowly dying of starvation one by one was pretty dark for a children's show.
Oh,
And
yeah.
also the sort of detailed
Definitely.
way they animated the hand's corpse definitely would have made me very uncomfortable as a kid and probably would have spooked a lot of kids who did watch it. But then again,
Oh, good.
yeah. Good, yes, like, let's spook children.
Yes, that's good. I mean, I watched Goosebumps as a kid. Children want to be spooked.
I didn't. I don't I well, I did, but it was
Did
different.
you not watch Goosebumps?
No, I read a
Oh, we should
Goosebumps
watch
book.
Goosebumps. Oh, really? Which one?
I forgot what it was, but it had a picture of, a bunny with giant teeth coming out of a hat. And it was about this boy
Oh.
who liked doing magic tricks, but they were just like, tricks you could buy from the store, so they all had tricks to them and they weren't real magic. But then he goes to an actual magic show, and I think he stupidly decides to mess with the magician stuff behind the scene, and then shenanigans
Ah.
ensue. And that's when
It
I
sounds
stopped
like a
reading.
Goosebumps book, alright.
Yeah, well, I didn't like it because like I think the characters made dumb decisions.
Yeah, there's one Goosebumps book that I
Mm,
really liked.
mhm,
Um, I'll, I still
mhm,
have it
mhm.
in my old bedroom at my parents'. I'll
Aw.
show it to you sometime,
Yes.
and you can read it
Yeah.
or
Is
attempt
it in
to.
English? Oh, it's in Dutch.
No? It's
Yes, when I finally learn how to read Dutch, well, I
Oh, you're
will
getting pretty
read
good.
it. Um, I'm okay. I only know how to use like
Don't
basic
be
everyday
modest.
things. Yeah, oh no, I can read basic everyday things like some
Mhm.
careers and food, but I don't think I could read a children's novel.
Probably not yet, though, but
Yeah, but I'll get
we'll
there.
see.
Like at some point, like after learning Dutch for 2, 3 years, doesn't will like everything come naturally to me, and I'll know how to like do everything and speak everything and just
No,
know new words.
it's gonna be a lifetime of learning for you, I'm afraid.
Ugh, gross.
Anyway, Goosebumps, yes, but I did like that part.
Mhm.
I think it added something,
The
like an
mass
extra
grave
bit
thing?
of well, yeah, and it gave Eva a bit of survivor's guilt, anything to make her a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I that is a change that I didn't hate. It didn't change too much. The book sort of implied that everything was running way more smoothly than it was in the book. There so sorry, no, the book
Mhm,
implied that things were
mhm.
running way more smoothly than they were in the show. There was something about like that particular scene where Eva finds everybody in New Attica that reminded me a lot of Wally. There are a lot of I
Right,
think the
right.
show does this even more where there are a lot of things that are reminiscent of the Pixar film Wally, which
Oh, yeah,
is
deliberately.
the best Pixar film ever. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily like intended to be like Wally
Really?
or they're both kind of this similar concept of humans destroyed Earth by their wanton carelessness and abandon and hedonism
Yeah, that's a
and
bit yawn, but
then well I am kind of a sucker for that plot to be honest. And then they all end
well,
up
yeah, I mean, many people are.
and then they
But
all end up
it's a bit
living in
cliche, but it's fine.
well they all end up living in the simulated paradise on I don't remember what it was called. This kind of iceberg shaped spacecraft in space.
Mhm.
But you know what I'm talking about. And
Oh,
so
yeah, I've seen WALL-E.
well yeah,
Who
so okay.
hasn't?
Most people I'm assuming who will watch we don't no one's going to watch this video. We had like one viewer and then another viewer. Okay. So um
Well, yay.
okay, well so the concept of Wally is all the humans escape to these different simulated paradises is paradise the word? Paradises. Okay, these simulated
I
paradises on
don't
these
know.
spacecrafts, like out out of the Milky Way. I think like everybody. I think they leave the Milky Way if I remember watching it correctly, because I remember Wally is kind of looking at the Milky Way and it's a reflection in his eye. Well, anyway, okay, so all the people escape to these spacecrafts, and a bunch of these robots called Wallies are in charge of collecting all the trash and making the world a safer place. But it ends
Right.
up failing because it takes way too long, and the robots are too small, and humans underestimate how much they really destroy their planet with all their pollution. So most
Oh,
of
they
the
also get lazy and don't, like
mhm.
they like being on the ship and stuff.
Well, yes, exactly. Um, so
Which
Wally,
is
well,
very much,
that's very
analog to
realistic.
New Attica.
Yes, exactly. And I don't think New Attica was necessarily trying to mimic Wally. I think it was just mimicking the same idea that
It
Wall.
I think there were some pretty, like, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
But like Wally
Uh
is in and of itself not a unique concept,
oh, no,
you
definitely
know.
not, no, but, like, a lot of the designs felt like the ship, and New Attica.
Okay, well, maybe sure,
Very
but that's because
similar.
okay, well,
Although
that's
they didn't have the chairs, I guess.
okay, well, that's because Skydance rips off DreamWorks and
Well,
Pixar.
well,
Like
I mean, there's only so many ways to do 3D animation, really, I mean.
oh, yeah, but when like reading the WondLA series, it didn't remind me of Wally at all, and none of the designs were reminiscent of Wally in any way. But sure, in the show, maybe there was some inspiration from Wally, and I can understand that because this is Skydance Productions, and Wally was a very famous movie. I don't remember when Wally came out, but I do think it was before. Wait, actually, I want to look this up. When did it come out? I think it came out before I was born. When did Wally come out? Oh, it came out in 2008. Well,
Mhm.
the concept for WondLA started around 1997 or 1999, and it was published in 2010. But definitely the same sort of anxiety that the Wall-E movie was about. Like, oh, in the near future, we're gonna destroy our planet with all the pollution happening. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, all the robots are supposed to clean up the earth and they fail. So the robots who are taking care of the humans on the ship what was it called? Hold on. Um what was the
Oh, I
ship?
mean, I think people are familiar with the story of WALL-E mostly.
Yeah. The Axiom. Okay, I just want to say
Yes.
Axiom. It makes me feel smart. Okay, so all the people are living on the Axiom, and the pilot, who's a human, works together with a character called Autopilot. Ha 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 ha, which is shaped like a ship steering wheel with the little spokes.
Mhm.
And Autopilot itself gets a message from. I think it's really cool to have to blend the human actor who played the by and large CEO, and then the animated characters are playing the humans on the ship to imply like, oh, actually, this is all real. This is just what humans will look like in a few hundred years. I
Mhm.
thought that was really cool. I feel like the combination of animation and live action very much. So Autopilot gets a message saying, "Oh, you cannot return to Earth. It is not safe." So Autopilot gets this message like, "Okay, now my directive is to keep everybody on the Axiom, no matter what, and not tell them what's going on Earth, and just keep them blissfully
Right, right,
unaware and
right.
ignorant." So in a sense, Autopilot replaces Cadmus Pride, but Auto is really cool because it's a robot. It doesn't actually have feelings, and it goes to brutal extreme measures to prevent the other characters from getting in the way of its directive. I saw this really cool YouTube video essay talking about that Otto is the perfect robot villain because most other robot villains are written to eventually develop feelings of malice and intention, which is not in
Mhm.
robot code. But Otto
Well, I
is,
mean, Optimus Prime
yeah,
is very reminiscent of that because he
yeah.
claims to do, uh,
I mean,
he claims to do what's best for humanity or something like that.
well, it might be revealed in the third season, as it is revealed in the third book, that actually Cadmus Pride is like a I don't know, 10th, 11th generation clone of the original Cadmus Pride. Um,
Right.
but anyway, yeah, so Cadmus Pride's original directive is to save humankind. And this ends up turning into, okay, keeping them safe in this controlled environment.
Mhm.
But what Cadmus does eventually want to do is he does want to eventually take back Earth. I don't it's never explained how he finds out that there are aliens colonizing Earth, but he does eventually want to take over Earth and destroy all the aliens on Earth and
Well, I
restore,
mean,
yeah,
the show does sort of, explain that.
how.
At some point, Katniss says, "Let's slip that, New Attica's failing
Mhm.
because, his, uh, you know, machinery to make
Mhm.
crops and stuff doesn't
Mhm.
work anymore."
Well, he mentions it's been contaminated by an outside source.
Right. And he knows about the aliens because his hologram goes outside and stuff. So it's
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Well, I mean,
and
well,
and and,
he
and
can't actually see through the
he
hologram.
sort of speculates that the aliens must have some sort of novel power source, and then he just wants
Yeah,
that power source.
yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
think well, I think the show did a good job of explaining his motives for that.
yeah, I think it did. And in the book, it seems that Cadmus is taught a lot more about the aliens from Lorik himself, in particular.
Right.
So,
Lord, we haven't seen Lord yet in the
yeah,
show.
we haven't. No, we met Lorik in the first season. He's not actually in the first book.
Oh,
Do you
right.
remember? Well, because
Oh, yeah.
in the first season, Lorik is like a counselor of Queen Ohos,
Yeah, oh,
and
yeah. I remember.
in the books, we're not introduced to him until book two, and towards like the second half of book two. Okay, so when Eva goes to New Attica, she's actually tricked into going. She first of all, she and Haley and all the creatures spend way more time like floundering before they end up going to New Attica. Like, oh, he's got to
Oh, yeah.
recharge the ship. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. In the show, Rovender, I don't think I fully explained that Rovender not only is an alien who helped Eva get to where she needed to go, but he became her surrogate father. And then we find out that he lost his mate and his daughter, and he has a tragic backstory. Tra la la. And
And then he gets injured. Oh, no, that's much later.
no, he actually doesn't get injured. That's a different we'll get into that. We will get into that. And I think the show did a good job with that because I think it was a little bit convoluted in the book. Um anyway, so Haley says okay, so Rovender and another character named Vanpaw go out. So Vanpaw in the book is Evan 6. He is a
Mhm.
sanctuary born. This is the only other than Eva and Eva 9 and Eva 8. We'll get into it. who those are and what the difference is. He is the only sanctuary born that is actually also in the book as well as the show. The show adds this thing
Mhm.
where each sanctuary actually has like a litter of 6 children who grow up together and they all have random names. And in the book, the name Eva is more intentional because, as I mentioned, it stands for Earth in Vitro Alpha. And it's just random names in the show. And I don't
Mhm.
really care for it, but that's a little bit fastidious and picky. um,
Yeah.
they also decide that Evan 6 is actually Evan 4 for some reason, because they shorten the timelines in between generations. So okay, I have to explain this. So Eva, our main character Eva, is actually the 9th generation of Evas from her specific sanctuary, and each Eva is a clone of the original set of DNA used. And each generation is an unknown number of years apart. It can be like it really can be any number of years apart. It's implied that Eva 8 is about 100 years older than Eva 9, but
Right.
that the previous generations were like 50 years apart, 60 years apart. It is a very long time though. That's why the book does take place like a good 1000 years after the present day, whereas in the show
Yes.
each generation is 16 years apart. Ha ha ha. Very funny, very on the nose. And which makes
Well,
even
yeah, well,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure why they did that, but I think it's just because so they can make the other Eva 16 years older, like in the early 30s.
Yeah, well, I mean, because in the show, sorry, in the book, they do make her look about 32-ish. She just isn't 32-ish.
Right.
And I mean, to
Is
be
that
fair,
explained?
no, well, it's explained like people don't age in New Attica. That's the only thing explained.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah,
Convenient.
so, I seem to remember, like, Haley or somebody tells Eva, um so Van Paul and Haley do not live in New Attica, they live a little bit outside New Attica, and they are called toilers. They are people who are trying to live off the land and don't wanna live in New Attica, and they are
Mhm.
perfectly allowed to, but people do speak badly of toilers in New Attica.
Of course,
They
of course.
don't seem to have a specific name or specific community in the show, and
Well, they seem to live in the hangar or something.
I don't know what a hangar is. Like the
A
garage?
hangar? Yeah, well, but where flying machines are stored.
Yeah, and yeah. So Evan
Wow, word of the
6
day.
so Evan 6 is the this is a little bit he's either the biological grandfather of Haley, because Evan changes his name to Van Turner. I don't know where the Turner comes from. And then Haley becomes Haley Van Turner. So Haley's father is Evan 6. So this is a bit confusing. So I guess Evan 6 is the next generation after sorry, Evan 7. Haley is the son of Evan 7, who I
Mhm.
guess is the generation of clone to come right after Evan 6. So I guess Evan 6 raised Evan 7 as his own son, and Haley is the
Right.
biological son of Evan 7. And actually, actually, hold on. I just realized this. It is kind of implied that Haley is somewhat related to Eva, because when Eva 9 meets Eva 8 in book 2, Eva 8 mentions that she got together with a cute pilot to take her back to the original
Ooh.
sanctuary, and she mentioned he was like Generation 7 or like an Evan 7. Um, and he took her back to her original sanctuary, and she tried to get baby Eva 9 there from there and take her with her and raise her as her own daughter, but mother said no. So Eva 7 Eva 8 went back with this cute pilot guy, and then she goes back to New Attica, and then she finds out that this pilot died. And Haley's father, Evan, died. Although it's implied that
Mhm.
Haley's mother also died, and Haley and like Evan 7 was married to Haley's mother. But he could be the secret love child of Eva 8 and Evan 7, which would make him
Ooh.
kind of genetically Eva 9's brother. And spoiler alert, Haley and Eva 9 get
Uh,
together at the end of the book, at the end of the third book.
Yeah,
Very, very
that
incestuous.
I hope your little theory's not true.
No,
It kind
I
of ruin it.
I don't know. Wait, why would it ruin it? You wouldn't care. Never mind. Anyway,
Well, I mean, I am gonna watch the season, so I will care.
well, I it's not that relevant, and we already know that Haley and Eva get together.
Oh yeah, because
But
you told me.
well, yeah, but it's not even part of the plot so much. Although I imagine in season 3, Haley and Eva
Oh
are
yeah,
gonna flirt to force this chemistry or something.
of course. Yeah,
Um,
it's a kids'
yeah,
TV show, dear. Well,
okay.
they might even hold hands.
Okay. Um,
Scandalous.
I know, right? Okay, so Eva ends up getting tricked to go to New Attica before she's ready. This is in the book. And Haley just kind of leaves her there and trades her for spare ship parts. Eva gets really, really upset. Um, she meets Cadmus Pride and she finds out who Cadmus Pride is. He introduces her to one of his daughters, Jen. It's spelled Gen. And then Jen introduces Eva to her two best friends named Jen, and they all look exactly the same, which I think was very interesting. And yeah,
Yes, and Jen is of course from generic, which is very very
really?
clever.
Really?
Well, I would say that's what I think.
Oh, I thought it was just from, like, Genes or Genesis.
Maybe. Well, it's very on the nose, whatever it is.
No, I keep saying this. Tony DiTerlizzi is a fascinating, amazing artist, but one thing he lacks is subtlety. But that is okay,
Well,
because me
good. He
too.
writes for kids. That's okay.
Yes, well, I mean, I think kids can understand subtlety, but, like, no, Eva interacts with Arius in the first book and the second book, and Arius basically spoils the plot of both books to Eva.
That's
So
nice.
no, Tony DiTerlizzi is not really practicing subtlety here, and that is okay. I
Oh, but
think,
there's a
yeah,
difference between being unsubtle and like dropping anvils all over the place.
I wouldn't say he's dropping anvils all over the place, and I do think
No,
he's a
no,
good
definitely
writer.
not.
I
There's a little bit
think,
of moralizing, but it's not that bad.
the moralizing gets like much stronger by book 3. I think book 2 and book
Oh,
3, way
that's
more
why
than
you
book 1.
like it less?
I like it a bit. Well, I actually don't really care anymore, but when I was younger and a bit more sensitive to different religions, I thought that it was very pantheistic, especially by book 3, and it made me very uncomfortable. And when we meet like the mother in book 2, the kind of like mother nature creation goddess thing, I felt weird about that. But
I
anyway.
see. I see. Yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, anyway, so I was pretty intense when I was 12. 12 and 13 were definitely the most intense periods of my life in regards to Christianity. It's a good thing we were not Minecraft buddies back then.
For multiple reasons.
Not that I've written fiction about that or anything, but
Okay.
I did.
Moving on.
Okay. Um, so Eva meets the Gens,
My
and
lord.
okay. So, oh, right, all right. So I'm gonna go back to window capture. We're gonna look at Jen. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see Jen. Jen. Okay. Um, the battle for WondLA. Jen. Can we see?
Oh, she shows up in the third book too.
Yeah, she does show up in the third. But why are you looking ahead?
No, I'm just that because you googled that.
Oh yeah. Are you watching?
What do you mean?
Hold on. Oh wait, I think I found a photo. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's look at Jen Pride's initial design in the book. Um, we are not going to be able to see Jen Pride's design in the show because I don't think there are any images on the internet, but I'll visually describe to you what she looks like in the show later. So, first of all, she has blue hair, very intricate hairstyle. Uh I wouldn't I don't like it, but I like it. I like the design. I like that Tony spent this amount of time to design. And here's the thing.
Oh,
Everything
I
about
tried
this.
googling it and I I got something else.
Oh, here, hold on. Let me see if you can open this link. This is the link to specifically the image of her. Oh well, okay.
Oh, right.
You can just see it like
Yes,
that.
I can see it now.
Okay. Um,
I
so
got something else. I got Gen Pride, a Seattle-based nonprofit.
okay, so
Something
pride is
completely
spelled
different.
with a Y, okay?
Yeah, well then I get a Star Wars character for some reason.
What? Hold on.
Or X-Men.
Enric Pride, yeah. I mean, Tony DiTerlizzi was a huge fan of Star Wars, and Star Wars was a lot of inspiration for his book.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I just want to discuss the intention and purpose behind the fashion of New Attica. So we have this kind of Tudorian rough going on here, so a little bit of historic fashion going on, especially with the
Mhm.
structure. I think I would describe this as stays, which are similar to a corset, but they're a bit more compressing than a corset. Corsets are
Mhm.
okay. Hold on, let me just quickly Google the difference between corsets versus stays. Um. Okay, so the difference between a corset and a stay is corsets usually like lift your little boobies, and stays usually flatten them down. Um.
I see.
Okay. So she also has these cute little charms on her wrists or coming hanging from her sleeves, a lot of just flare and flash. And she's got a tail, which is called a synth tail. So, the 2010s wave of furries. She also has this strange hat going on. Um,
Yes.
in the show, um, what's her face? Jen has blonde hair braided in a kind of corporate like style where hair's just bound tightly together in this braid and it doesn't hang down or anything. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know if they know what
Mhm,
I'm talking
mhm.
about. Okay.
I do.
She wears glasses. I don't remember what her dress was, but it was very 60s. And her little hat was also very 60s. But what bothered me is the styles were just sort of lopsided sleeves and asymmetrical nonsense going on. So to me, okay, Tony D. Terlizzi is like, I'm gonna make this very specific fashion that combines future and distant past and create this very unique, visually appealing style. And then in the show, it's like these old guys were like, well, I bet in the future people just like dress weird. Like the point of
Mhm.
futuristic fashion is it doesn't make any sense. So let's just inject uneven sleeves, asymmetry, random colors here and there, and call that. And I don't like that because it's lazy and
Yeah.
it feels dismissive of fashion. As somebody who cares a little bit about fashion, it feels very dismissive of fashion. And this style right here tells me that Tony D. Terlizzi cares about art and about fashion.
Do you need a glass of water, dear?
I have a thermos next to me. Mm,
Well, no, I agree with you. Although it served to make a point about shallowness and all that,
yes, and how
I
all the
think.
gens try to look exactly like each other. So in the show,
Yeah, and but think they are being distinct. That's sort of
yes, yeah,
it's all
yeah.
shallow and there's no substance, blah blah blah.
This is basically modern TikTok alternative clothing in a nutshell. Somebody will know what I'm talking about, but they
I'll
probably
take your
don't.
word for it.
Um, yeah, okay.
I'm blissfully unaware of TikTok, and it feels great. I can recommend it.
I'm mostly unaware of TikTok, but I am somewhat unaware of the TikTokification of fashion and the
Oh no,
Chineseification of fashion. Like Timu
make a YouTube
and
video about it. I
no,
would,
no, no, other people have made
I would.
way better YouTube videos about it. I actually know this from YouTube videos, so I'm not going to be making a YouTube video about it when other
Oh,
people
I
already
see.
have. What was I thinking?
I'm not gonna
Timu
risk that.
and Sheen, um, like this kind of fast, cheap, low quality fashion. Anyway. So in the show, she meets his daughter Jen, and she also meets Nova. Um, Nova's not in the book. So Nova and Jen are besties. They look distinct from each other. Nova looks like she uses they them pronouns. Like it feels like a very 2024 like we need visually queer characters. Like in uh
Yeah. I mean,
I
you
want
could
to
just
say
have them like look normal and make out, and that would be
you
weird.
know,
But
like in Joan is Awful, which I think came out in 2023, they had like a couple of like very visually queer characters in the bar
yes,
or talk. Yeah, it felt kind of like that.
that
Well,
was funny.
okay, I didn't mean to politicize it or go in a whole spiel like this. I don't actually care that much. So, sorry, Jen and Nova take Eva around New Attica, and it looks way less cool than it does in the book. They
It
really
was
did
very
not.
sterile.
They didn't take anything from the book when it came to the design of New Attica, which kind of bums me out. New Attica in the book, I would say, based on the images, is a combination of ancient Roman architecture and Tokyo architecture, which I bet you would find really cool. So the show, due to, you
Who,
know, its
me?
yes, I feel like you would find that cool, like a
Oh yeah,
combination.
I did see it. You showed
Yeah,
me pictures, and I did enjoy
yeah,
it. Yes.
yeah. Like it has these sort of holographic things popping out, kind of like
Very
you know.
millennial bait. Is Tony a millennial?
Yes, dear, he's definitely a millennial. Actually,
Who would have known?
let me double check how old he is, because he might be Gen X actually. Tony.
He might be older than me, probably. Yeah,
Well, he's obviously older than
'cause,
you.
he's very old.
Well, I mean, how old were you in 2010? You were not right. He's 56.
I don't
Yeah,
want to say.
he's Generation X. He's not a
Oh,
millennial.
okay.
His kids might be no, his kids wouldn't be millennials. That would he would be a very young dad then. No, Tony DiTerlizzi is older than my parents, so you can rest assured that Tony is not near your age. Okay, so
Oh my god.
okay, well, he was drafting his story in actually I just want to show everybody this picture because this is really cool. Like let's look at this picture. This um this is the first image that we see in the book. This is Eva, and I guess this is Tony styling her for another character. I don't know who this woman is. Was Eva inspired off her? Because she is wearing a very like Eva looking outfit. Never mind, whatever. Okay, I'm getting off track. Okay. The but yeah, okay, the best way I could describe New Attica is a combination of ancient Roman architecture and modern Tokyo architecture, which with all the screens and advertisements and things trying to like tantalize you inside. Um, I've never been to Tokyo. I know you have, but I've seen videos and images, so
It's been a
I get
while.
it's been a while. We should totally go to Tokyo.
We should go at some point.
We should go to
Yeah.
Japan, and we should go to South Korea. Um,
Yes. Let's go
so
right now.
yes, no, we can do it after the podcast. I'll come over after the podcast,
No,
and then
we're
we can
doing
go.
this.
Um, okay. So one
Are we getting any money
thing
of this?
we better all y'all better subscribe and like and all that. Okay. So one thing that they do in New
Join
Attica
as a
that I do.
member.
Yeah, I don't have any membership on my channel, but I could create
Oh,
some.
okay. Otherwise, you could do
When
like members only podcast. Yeah.
I could do
More
that.
intimate.
Ew, I have enough intimate people in my life, but not like that.
Hmm.
Okay. So one thing that happens in New Attica in the show that I do like more than the book is they do a video game simulator of the outside world where
Yeah.
so Eva has been to the outside world, she's met the aliens, she's become familiar with the flora and fauna, and she's able to telepathically communicate with them, and she sees the good in all of these creatures. But in the video game, all of these creatures are bad and you have to shoot them to get points. So Eva is traumatized and horrified by her new friends killing all these creatures that she fell in love with when she was on the surface, and the killer plant that she is afraid of is actually like the recharge station.
Yeah.
Yeah, the healing recharge station. Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to do that. That's weird. Um, and like at the very end, she has to kill a giant water bear that looks exactly like her friend Otto, and she's very sad. And then that's when she's like,
Mm.
I don't think I like New Attica anymore. I'm never gonna fit in here. And in the book, she just has this moment where all the gens are gossiping about the way another girl has styled herself, and Eva is like, this is kind of mean. I actually think that girl looks cool. And Eva's like, I don't fit in. Oh, and also, the girls don't know anything about the aliens from the outside world. And Eva also realizes that there are no aliens in New Attica, and she thought there would be. Okay. So more deviations. Okay, so Eva 9 ends up meeting Eva 8, who is the older clone, the previous generation from her sanctuary. Now, in
Mhm.
the show, Eva 8 does this whole parkour routine to lure Eva 9 into this underground area of people who don't want to live in New Attica. But the thing is, like, we
They're like
have that
rebels,
in
yeah.
yeah, but we have that in the book. They're toilers. Like, you can live outside New Attica if you want, and Eva could have. Although I guess like not necessarily Eva because Eva was special and had like special powers. I don't know if I don't remember Cadmus being aware in the book that she had these special powers, but in the show, she's fully aware. And I do kind of appreciate it because it makes it more cohesive and makes the story just move more quickly. Um,
Mhm.
Cadmus is going to use her to get to the heart of the forest, and we will talk about what the heart of the forest is in a moment. Um, and okay, so in the book, Eva just meets Eva 8, and she's like, okay, now I've been waiting here for like 100 years for you to come, and now that you're here, we can go back home, and I can raise you in the sanctuary as my own daughter. And I was like, I just got here, and I like it here. It's fun, and I made new friends, and it's cool. Um, and Eva 8's like, no, like they're controlling you. So the two of them end up getting caught because they're outside after hours, and
Mhm.
it's made less of a big deal in the show. And Eva 8 and Eva 9 end up getting kidnapped, and then Eva realizes, like, oh, I wonder if my friends are in danger. I don't exactly remember what happens. But she ends up finding out that Cadmus has kidnapped Haley, as he should have. I hate Haley. um, I hate him both
Oh
in the
boy.
show, and I hate him in the show and the book. Also,
Oh,
he has the exact
spicy
voice I would
opinion.
expect. He has the exact voice I would expect him to have in the show. He has this very like anime protagonist boy voice. I hate it.
I don't particularly care, but
I
I
know.
don't think his character really adds much, honestly. Well,
Yeah,
except that he betrays Eva, I guess, but
yeah. Well, I mean, so the thing about the book is a lot less cohesive. No offense, Tony. I love your books, but they're a little bit less cohesive
it'd
than the
be
show.
nice if you listened to this.
It would be so cool if you listen to it. Like, so yeah, I would be so honored if you watched like the actual YouTube video I'm gonna make on this. Because I know he likes the show way more than I do. I do like the show. It's really fun. I'm excited for the
Well,
next
it's
season
good
to
that
come
he
out.
likes it. That's
Yeah,
I do like that.
yeah.
It's cool.
If I were to write a book and they did what they did to the show to my book, I would be mad. But I'm glad Tony is happy with it. And I think it's possible that Tony could have maybe pushed for some things more. I don't know. I think most of it was due to like money and the budget and all that. Um, I don't think it was.
Well, I don't know. I
I
don't
think
know.
relatively speaking, it wasn't that expensive of a project. Just I don't know.
No, but
It
they
looks
like
yeah.
clearly a lot of effort went into the environments and stuff, and a lot of the alien.
The aliens and the
It just
alien
seems
environments. Yes, yeah, yeah.
the
I agree.
allocation of money and effort seems to be a bit
Weird.
weird at
Yeah.
times. Yes, it's like very
Yes.
not understandable.
Do you wanna talk about your issue with Eva's appearance?
Well, yeah, but it's not so much an issue as like so. Well, you obviously have a reason to hate
Mhm.
show Eva's appearance because
Mhm.
um book Eva looked like you
Yes.
basically.
She looked
Sorry, which makes
pretty
it
much
very easy
exact.
for you to be
Looked pretty
immersed.
much exactly like 12-year-old me when I read it, and she was 12 herself.
Yeah, exactly. So it
Yeah.
was very easy for you to get immersed in the world because you were
Yeah.
living vicariously through her.
Yeah, and I think over the course of reading the novels, I could be wrong, I could be misremembering, but over the course of reading it, I think I turned 13 and Eva turns 13 in the second book, so I don't know, it was like special. It was like special to me.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, that's also what like the show and the book is aimed at, that sort of age range.
yeah, so I just find it confusing to change Eva from a 12-year-old into a 16-year-old. That doesn't make much sense to
Yeah,
me.
I
It
think the
yeah.
theory is that younger kids like watching slightly older kids do
No,
stuff, and then
I don't. I don't. I liked watching kids my age do things. I never
yeah,
thought
I'm not
I,
I sort of I don't know if that's actually true. That's this is something I heard that
well, you know
apparently it's
how
some sort of idea that lives in Hollywood, but
High School Musical wasn't meant for high schoolers. It was meant for like middle schoolers or elementary schoolers.
Yeah, like that, yeah.
Yeah, and
And, like,
I mean,
all
I
these
never
high schoolers are always played by, like,
like 24-year-olds.
adults. Yeah,
Yeah, which I actually don't have a problem with that. I just wish they would actually pick adults who
no.
looked like high schoolers, like, you know, like, "Hello, hi, I exist, cast me."
Well, yes, you could still
Anyway,
do a high schooler right now.
I could
I mean,
do
play a high
I could
schooler,
do
not
an
do it
elementary
right
schooler. I could definitely do a
now.
middle schooler with ease. I could
You
play
could play one, this is
I could play either gender middle schooler, actually. Hire me, guys. I'm very versatile. Anyway,
mhm.
he said in a
So
pained
they
voice.
basically changed the design of Eva, which
Yeah.
and, it's easy enough to well, let's just address the elephant in the room then.
They kind of
She
race swapped her. They made her
Yes,
ethnically
she's now brown.
ambiguous.
Yes.
She
Like,
looks Sephardic
happens a lot.
Jewish. Yes. Okay, well, not only does it happen a lot, it has pretty much exclusively happened with Skydance Productions. So Skydance released the
Oh,
film, as I
really?
told you, Spellbound, which is this kind of
Mhm.
princessy musical thing. The lead character herself is ethnically ambiguous. She like might be black because she has cornrows or something. And you know, like
Right.
white people
Oh,
are
yeah,
not
you're
allowed
not
to have
allowed to
cornrows.
wear
Yeah.
those as a white person, definitely
Yeah,
not.
exactly. Um,
You're gonna get a lot of
and
trouble.
now she also lives
Or
in a
maybe not
fantasy.
these days, yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
so also
Sorry.
the character in Spellbound lives in a fantasy land where her race genuinely does not matter. So making her kind of black or brown, like just it doesn't matter. But there is
Yeah.
definitely an avoidance when it comes to designing Caucasian looking characters. I don't remember a single Caucasian looking character in WondLA except for Jen and Nova. Which we weren't really supposed to like anyway. I mean, even Cadmus, I think, doesn't really look.
Well, he looks like an old white
He
guy,
looks
but, like,
No, he
he's
looks
the
Turkish.
villain,
He
so
looks Turkish.
Turkish?
He looks Turkish.
I think that's racist on your part there.
He looks like white Indian or white Arab. But okay, Arabs are gonna be so pissed off of being compared to Turks. Anyway,
No, he
he
just like to me, he looks like generic old white guy, but he's the villain, so of course he is a generic old white guy.
he doesn't look that white. His skin is kind of dark. It's not brown, but it is kind of dark.
Mm,
Whatever.
tan maybe. Well,
Yeah,
whatever. Okay,
but
so they sandblasted Eva and then colored her brown,
yeah. And then
and
like the other thing is, okay, fine, make her brown, but she also
yeah,
looks so boring.
yeah, she doesn't have any features basically. It's
No, she
completely just,
doesn't.
and she is on screen for most of the time, so it
Yeah.
sort of makes sense to make her
Uh,
less elaborate, so it's easier to animate.
I know. I know it would have been.
But
I know it would have been hard to animate
yeah,
all her braids, but I'm bummed out because her braids were so integral to her character. Like they made her look unique and cool. Okay, all right. Now I'm gonna pull up images of Show
yeah,
Eva
no,
versus Book
I'm with
Eva.
you. I think this is a mistake, and
Yes.
I also don't think this was necessary. Nobody's gonna complain about like uh if it's okay to have a white protagonist. Okay, it's not 2020 anymore.
Hmm.
You don't have to do that.
Hold on. The search for WondLA Eva.
Hmm.
All right. Well, all right. Let's take a looky loo. All right. This is Eva. Also known as 12-year-old Otney. You can
Hmm.
see we got the green eyes. I'll put the advertisements. Hold on. I'm gonna click out of this. All right. Let's take a look. Look at the green eyes, the darker eyebrows, the all the braids. I only had two braids when I was 12. Also, actually when I was 12, her hair pissed me off because I was like, uh hair doesn't do that. Like hair mechanically cannot do that. But like otherwise I think I really like her style. It's cool. Um this is a little bit less of a criticism personally, but I kind of liked her sort of. There's also here hold on, let me just copy and send
Hmm.
this to you. Copy image, send to you. Here's a picture of just sort of Eva's full outfit. This is her original outfit. I don't
Yeah.
remember what she's holding here. I like the layered baggy look, but that's kinda because it's similar to my style now.
Mhm.
I think all the folds in her clothes and the bagginess of it, it really just adds to her character design. I think it makes her look adorable too. But like, that's just personal preference. In the
Mhm.
book, she just wears this sort of like construction, well, not construction worker suit, but like this very bland suit with some pockets that make it look like a little bit military-ish or something. But
Do
it
you mean in the show?
in the show, yeah. My bad. In the
Mhm.
show. And they take that all out in the book. Here's an earlier design of Eva from, I'm gonna like estimate the 90s or something. This is on Tony DiTerlizzi's website. Here's Eva with just two pigtails. She looks much younger than 12 here. I think she's
Yeah.
holding the book. Or can you see? Can you see what I'm looking at?
Not yet, but I will.
Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you. So this
I think I've
includes
seen that picture before, so that's fine.
this includes an
Mhm.
earlier design
Yeah.
of Eva. Um, and then you can see like the modern design for Eva in the book, like right here.
Mhm.
And again, I like the robes. I like kind of the nod to
Yeah, the robes are cool.
like the ancient tunics. I find that really cool personally. And
Yeah, and
they
the
yeah
hair, that's yeah. So,
yeah
but
the
the
hair yeah.
show Eva is just like there's nothing there.
All right, so I have a photo of Show Eva right here. So she's got okay, so first of all, here, let me send you this particular photo that I'm looking at so you can see what features I'm describing and complaining about.
Mhm.
Okay, so she has this strange compression thingies around her waist, which kind of reminds me of like the belts that old people use for their back for good posture.
Right.
Somewhat interesting. Her suit also doubles as fingerless gloves. I'm very confused by what's going on in this area. Like, is this a zipper? Are her pants attached to her shirt? I'm gonna
Yeah.
assume not.
She
Why
also
does
has
she
two way too large eyebrows.
also? Well, I think that's just part of I'm a fan of bigger eyebrows. I think that's just part of her like ethnic ambiguity. I don't know.
Yeah, I hate it. Like, there's nothing else there. She looks absolutely nothing like the
What? I mean,
book
she has
protagonist.
like a couple of like freckles.
I guess, yeah.
But yeah, no, very generic. I'm not a fan. I don't know. She's got pattern on her clothes, sort of triangles
Yeah,
stuff.
and it wouldn't be so bad, but the problem is that she also has, like, a very generic personality. She has,
Yeah.
like, no I mean, she's a bit Mary Sue-ish, which is okay in
All right,
children's literature, but
let's talk
there's
about.
literally nothing, like, unique about her anymore, which
Okay.
really just sucks.
All right, I think
What?
it's time to talk about the Rapunzelification of female Disney and Pixar protagonists.
Mhm.
I don't. Okay, if anyone knows, help me. But I don't recall. Let me try this again. Disney princesses generally all had the same kind of muted, kind Mary Sue personality in all of their shows. I'm thinking Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, or was it Aurora in the book in the movie? Then we start getting to like the 90s Renaissance, and that's when we start giving your princesses personality. So we had Belle. She was very bookish and pragmatic,
Mhm.
and cared very deeply for her father. Very anti big hunky strong men unless they're not human looking. No, I'm just kidding. Um, no. So there's Ariel. She is very romantic. She's very starry-eyed about people. She wants to be a human so bad.
Mhm.
She's very silly and lighthearted and like collecting things. I think canonically she's also younger than Belle, but we don't really know Belle's age. Um, Ariel is canonically 16 though, because she does tell her dad that she's
Mhm.
16. And then she responds with, I'm not a child. And she's also
Yes.
pretty much naked throughout most of the time in the ocean. But anyway, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. Let's see, what
You
else?
should rewatch that.
Uh yeah, Little Mermaid was pretty good. I'm trying to think of all the other ones. There were a
I
lot of
honestly don't think I've ever watched those Disney movies in full.
well, there were also a lot of other like Disney fantasy movies that came out with different characters, like Atlantis, where we had this like very nerdy, insecure dude who was not a princess, but he was like our Disney princess kind of thing. Like Hercules, Tarzan, all of those had very unique, distinct personalities. And then there was Tangled. She was quirky. She was so
Mhm.
isolated that she acted like a child. Let's not read too much into that. She's like freshly 18, leaving her tower. All she wants is to see
Yeah,
lights.
jumping on the
And
first
she
man who says hi to her,
essentially, yeah.
who pays attention to her.
And she
Where have you heard
is
that before, huh?
she speaks very impulsively and kind of lets her words run away with her. Her facial expressions are very quirky. She has very strong facial expressions. And then
Mhm.
we had Frozen. And we had the brooding, mysterious Elsa, but then we also had Anna, who is basically Rapunzel. Um,
Mhm.
oh, I gotta look up like Disney movies in post.
Did you forget?
Well, I can think of others. Okay. Oh my gosh, and then we had Moana. Moana was basically just Rapunzel, exact same personality. Um, also
Really?
at this point,
I've never fully seen Moana, so I wouldn't know.
okay, let me try this again. Not the exact same personality, but the exact same like mannerisms. Um, the way that their bodies are moving has become way more cartoony. Like I think,
Mhm.
up until Coco, I think animation wise, Coco was stunning. How
I
realistic
haven't
they
seen it.
made the characters. You sh Alright, movie night then. You gotta see Coco, it's so good. Um, it is also a musical. I am gonna trick you into watching another musical though. Okay. So Moana, we had there are YouTube videos made about this by the way. The adorkable Disney princess. Moana was one of these.
Mhm.
There
Okay.
Disney and Pixar are now getting like way more exaggerated with the facial expressions that they're using, especially when like these girls are like quirky and making awkward facial expressions. They're leaning heavily into that. We get Encanto
Mhm.
and Mirabelle is also like this, and it's even worse. I think it's even worse than Raya and the Last Dragon. That one's pretty bad too. And Wish. And Wish was like when it was like too far. And
Wish?
Wish is the
I don't think
newest Disney princess thing
Oh,
to come out,
really?
if I remember correctly. I've never seen it. I don't really know what it's about. Hold on. Did someone message
Oh,
me?
I thought they were just doing, like, live action remakes of everything.
Um, yeah, no, they have not been. They have and they haven't. They're doing both at the same time. Okay.
I see.
My companion is saying that we should probably wrap this up a little bit because I could talk about this for a million years, and
You
we don't.
could.
I could, yeah, clearly. I haven't even got to the third book yet. I think I'll wrap up by talking about what I
Yeah,
want to
we
see
can
in the
do that
third book.
we can do that later, though.
Well, I kind of want to
Sort of
just
a preview for the season.
well, sure, okay, but to finish what I wanted to say, just like right now. Um,
Mhm.
the way Eva, first of all, what's her voice actor? Oh my goodness, the voice acting. I won't get into it, but the voice acting in the show.
I thought she was
Um,
okay.
I don't know. I mean, I think she was intentionally trying to be the adorable Disney princess, and I kind of hate it.
Mhm.
Um,
Well,
Eva,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm not that much exposed to that, so maybe.
I'm very much exposed to it because all these movies came out in the 2010s, which was when I was the prime demographic for a lot of them, and even maybe a little bit too old for some of them, but I still liked going to the theater to see them. I know I saw Frozen in theaters. I don't remember if I saw Moana in the. No, I did see Moana in theaters.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. I didn't see right. I saw Coco in theaters. Oh my gosh, Coco. We have to see Coco. It's so good. I don't remember seeing. I did not see Riot and the Last Dragon or Wish in theaters. But that was a lot more recent, and I felt a little bit too old for that, and the stories themselves didn't compel me. What I did see recently though was Elio, and you and I watched that together, and you thought it was
Yeah, it
pretty
was okay.
okay. I liked
Yeah.
it. I
I've also
but
watched
yeah,
snippets of the other one, the I forget what it's called, about the
what
Italian boys.
Luca, I think.
Luca, yes, yes.
So
It was sort of interesting.
Luca and Elio are both Pixar, I believe, and Pixar
Yeah,
has
or true, yeah.
really downgraded an animation style. So Coco was Coco I think is also Pixar. My bad. Um, Coco I think was when Pixar was at its peak, if I recall correctly. I think it'll actually show me here on the screen. Coco came out around 2018. Where's Coco? Coco. Oh, there. Okay. It came no 2017. And the characters look very realistic. Now they were also, kind of cutesified. Miguel's head was way too big for his body, but they were very realistic. They had very unique faces. Every character had a unique face except for
Mhm.
maybe some of the background characters. Um, even the skeletons, because most of the movie is Miguel interacting with skeletons. They all have their own distinct facial features, or even though they're
Right.
all skeletons, and personalities. So Coco was stunning and amazing, and ever since then, Pixar has just decreased in quality. It made this very like I don't think stop motion is what I'm thinking of, but it was a little bit reminiscent of stop motion, the way that they animated Luca. They're definitely way more cartoony, 3D cartoony. And I think it worked for Luca, but then they did the same thing for Turning Red, which I hated Turning Red, but the entire plot of Turning Red was like a girl going through puberty, and that's like my least favorite plot ever. Um,
Oh, I mean, yeah, but, it's important because
no,
well,
no,
girls
we
struggle
should
with it, and
we
they
should
need to be told that it's okay.
No, it basically just told me that like I'm even weirder than I thought, but like that's okay. I watched it as an adult, I believe.
Oh, you are
Um,
pretty weird, yes, but I like
I'm
that.
just so quirky. Yeah. No, I hated Turning Red.
Well, you are pretty quirky too, yeah.
Turning Red also had kind of this like cartoon style that I wasn't a huge fan
Mhm.
of. And then they had it with Elio too, and then I'm like, oh, okay, so like they're just gonna keep it that way. It was like the
Yeah.
quality, it had the animation quality of a Pixar animated short, which is a little bit of a bummer.
There was still
I
some of the Pixar humor and stuff in Elio, that was pretty good.
yeah, I mean like I would say not dialogue, but writing wise, I would say pretty good quality. And like when it came to
Mhm.
animating the aliens, I think they did a really good job. I thought they were all very
Oh,
unique,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I as you can tell, I'm clearly a sucker for movies and shows that have like aliens in them and all the creative ways you can
Mhm.
animate non-humans. Um,
Yeah, well, as long as they look as least human as possible, right? Whatever that
I
means.
like both. I like seeing a design for an alien that's as human as possible. I mean, I did something like that myself personally. I attempted to write a
Oh.
book about an alien who crash lands on Earth, but then I didn't really know what to do after that. But sorry, tangent. I know we're supposed to wrap it up, but I'm gonna like plug my book that I've never finished writing since I was 13. Um, so there's this girl named Tully, and she's the alien. So
Mhm.
she looks completely like a human, except instead of having teeth, she just has like one dental formation coming out of her gums that is like in the shape of teeth, but they're not individual teeth. Her skin is kind of a dark orange. And on her planet,
Mhm.
they have a much older sun, so it's a lot darker, but with stronger UV radiation. I think she only has 4 fingers instead of 5 fingers, and then her hairline is in more of the shape of a mohawk, but it goes further down her neck than humans, whereas humans it's like all over your scalp, but
Ooh,
I know, like
quirky.
I'm making slight deviation. So basically, when she lands on Earth, the two human characters who discover her, they're like, "Oh, you're like a weird looking human with body modifications." And like, "Oh, okay, your fingers and your teeth and like all that. Okay, whoa, what's going on?" And then
Mhm.
okay, so she speaks English, but on her planet it's called something other than English, and that was just like plot convenience because I didn't want to do the whole like translation nonsense. But
Of
yeah,
course.
I liked the idea of playing around with an alien that was as close to a human as possible, and then in Elio there were a lot of aliens that were as far away from humans as possible, and I thought that was really really cool. I can't talk. Okay, let's
Yes.
all right, I'm gonna wrap up now. There is
Mhm.
obviously like a lot more details I could talk about that I
Oh, yes.
liked in the show and I didn't like in the book and vice versa. But here's the last
We
thing.
will do
Okay,
that.
so yes, but I want to talk about like what I want to see in season 3. So something really important that happens in wait, should I share it or should I like wait until it actually comes out and then I can spoil book 3?
Let's wait, actually. It's only like 2 weeks, right? So we can or 3
Really?
weeks
No,
rather,
like
but
3
we can
weeks. 3
yeah,
weeks and
3
2
weeks.
weeks
Well,
are a
we can wait
huge
3
difference.
weeks.
If you lived in my brain, you would understand what a big difference 2 and 3 weeks are from each other.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
a 1 week difference for
just wait
me,
until you get older,
a
young
1 week
lady.
difference
Then
for me is like a 2 midterm difference.
you'll
Would you like to come here and take my midterms for me?
sure.
Oh, okay,
I'll do
yay.
very badly, but
Okay,
I
well,
don't think you want that.
uh, you get accommodations. Say you have ADHD, and maybe they'll raise it by like 10. Okay, you only have to do my organic chemistry midterm. I can do my bio midterm and my other midterm, but you can do my organic chemistry midterm. Cause
Okay,
that one's super
I better
perm.
start cramming now.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'll
Can I
send
do
you
it
all the
online?
notes. Okay, sure. Oh, the test. No, you have to fly over here and take it in person, but that's okay because you're gonna be here a day before our final, my final. So you can
Oh,
take my
okay.
final. You can take my
Yay.
final for me. You just have to get up really early because the final is at 8 a.m. in the morning.
That's criminal. Who does that?
Um, college. All right. So thank
Right.
you everybody, aka nobody, for listening. I'm not sure what was going on. Maybe it's just because I haven't gone live for a while.
Mm,
But yeah, this
whatever. I still had fun.
I had fun too. Yeah, we learned a lot. And
Mhm.
remember, everybody, God made you special, and He loves you very much.